Are you ready for the biggest shift in product compliance in a decade? The old model of stickers and in-country testing is changing. A new digital-first approach is taking over, and it's powered by this: the simple QR code. For manufacturers of radio and electrical products, this is not just a new label. In many countries, it's becoming the entire compliance process. Instead of complex certification, you declare your product's conformity and host the proof online. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly who is leading this change, what you need to do to comply, and why Latin America is the critical region to watch right now. So why is this happening? Regulators want greater transparency and an easier way for consumers to verify the product's legitimacy. This system makes it simple to check compliance with a smartphone, cutting down on counterfeit goods and making it easier to update safety information without recalling a product. This new model places more responsibility on you, the manufacturer. You are now responsible for creating and maintaining a public-facing digital repository of compliance documents. Let's look at the two countries that have an all-in-on this model, starting with Chile. In Chile, the regulator Subtel has made this mandatory for most short-range devices, starting in February 2026. This is not an option. It replaces the old certification process. To comply, you must place a QR code on the product's packaging. This code cannot be just linked to your home page. It has to lead to a specific compliance page containing very specific documents. So what's on that page? First, a formal declaration of conformity stating your product meets all of Subtel technical norms. Second, the full test report that supports your declaration. Third, contact information for your company and your local representative in Chile. And critically, all of this information must be in Spanish. Let that sink in. For Chile, compliance is no longer about submitting documents for a lab to approval. Compliance is creating the DOC, validating it with a test report, and making it publicly accessible via the QR code. The power, the reliability, is now in your hands. Now, let's look next door to Argentina. Starting March 28, 2025, Argentina's new rule for electrical safety products come into effect. Under Resolution 237, manufacturers have the option to replace the traditional S-mark safety label with a QR code, and it's a very compelling option. Just like in Chile, the QR code must link to a digital repository containing a declaration of conformity. This DOC proves the product complies with Argentina's safety standards. And just like Chile, the document must be in Spanish, and importantly, it must be signed by the local Argentinian importer or the legal representative of the manufacturer in the country. This links the declaration directly to a legal entity in Argentina. The takeaway for both Chile and Argentina is clear. Your market access strategy for Latin America must now include a digital document management strategy. You need a reliable place to host these files and ensure the links in your QR codes never break. Now, this is a global trend, but with different flavors. Let's do a quick fire round on other countries using QR codes. Indonesia. It's mandatory, and the QR code links directly to the government-issued certificate in their database. Thailand. The TISI safety mark uses a QR code for consumers to verify certificate status online. India. For products with a screen, you have the option of an e-label with a QR code, but you still need a physical mark on the box. In Brazil, Anatel allows a QR code, but it's different. It doesn't link to a website. Instead, scanning it simply displays the homologation text directly on the phone. This shows the variety of implementations out there, but this trend towards digital is undeniable. The declaration of conformity model we see in Chile and Argentina is the most transformative and is likely we'll see other countries adopt in the future. So what's your next step? First, identify if your products fall under these new regulations in Chile and Argentina. Second, start building your compliance repository now. Don't wait until your product is at the port. You need a stable, public-facing system to host your declaration of conformity and test reports. This is a new and critical part of the compliance process. This is a big change, but you don't have to navigate it alone. At Eleos Compliance, we specialize in helping manufacturers manage these new requirements, from authoring DOCs to hosting your compliance data. Get in touch with us today.